Well, Iran's foreign minister is in St. Petersburg for talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Abbas Araghchi's visit is part of diplomatic efforts to end the war with the U.S. He's been on a regional tour since Friday with stops in Oman and Pakistan. Araghchi has held consultations with Iran's Gulf and regional partners, as well as phone calls with foreign ministers of Qatar, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and Egypt.
My trips to Pakistan and Oman were bilateral. Regarding Pakistan, this country has played an important role in mediating negotiations between Iran and the United States recently, and it was necessary to discuss the latest developments. In any case, there have been developments in the negotiation process, and the incorrect approaches and excessive demands of the United States have prevented the previous round of negotiations from achieving its objectives, despite some progress. We reviewed what has happened in the past and discussed how and under what conditions negotiations could continue. After all, the heroic resistance of the Iranian people over the past 40 days should enable us to assert the rights of the Iranian people and ensure the interests of our country.
All right, Foad Izadi is an associate professor at the University of Tehran, and he joins us now from the Iranian capital. Professor Izadi, thank you for being on the program. So, your country's foreign minister, Abbas Araghchi, is in Russia right now, meeting with President Putin. And I wonder what you think he aims to get out of this meeting.
I think he is discussing the negotiations that are going on with the United States. You know, he was in Islamabad right before going to Russia, updating allies and countries that are stakeholders is something that the foreign minister does. This is what the diplomatic corps in countries generally engage in. So that's going to be one issue, updating the Russian side on what's going on. I think he's going to thank Russia for the veto that they had in the UN Security Council a few weeks ago. We had this Bahrain-US resolution at the UN Security Council against Iran, and it was vetoed by Russia and China. So he's doing that. And of course, Iran-Russia military relations has been quite extensive, and I think Iran is looking to see whether Iran can get more help from Russia in the war that has not finished. This is a ceasefire. We never know when Trump decides to attack Iran again. One aim Iran has is to end the war, but they're not sure whether they can achieve that. So increasing military cooperation is going to be another topic that they will discuss in St. Petersburg.
Okay, so Professor, what I hear you saying is this is partially diplomacy, partially, though, about military support. So what kind of weapons do the Iranians need from the Russians?
Russians showed that they're able to shoot down F-35s in the war in Ukraine. We have seen a lot of F-35s on Iranian skies. So being able to access these type of air defense systems is going to be one of the main issues that I think the foreign minister will be talking about. Of course, the military linkage between Iran and Russia has its own channels as well. But since the foreign minister is meeting with the Russian president, I think Iran needs help, as we have seen during the war, in the 40 days of war. Iran needs help with regard to defending Iranian skies. That wouldn't be good to see the same level of infiltration of Iranian skies as we saw during the 40-day war. Iran was actually managed to hit a few U.S. jets during the war, but that wasn't enough. So Iran needs to make sure that this happens. And, the way the U.S. operates is that when they saw the Russian government being able to hit F-35s in the Ukrainian war, we didn't see a lot of F-35s being available to be hit. So that is something that I think Iran wants to achieve, to make sure that the country is less vulnerable when it comes to these type of attacks. There are going to be other components of Iran's defense that I think Russia can help with. The Strait of Hormuz being under blockade, things that Iran used to get through the Strait of Hormuz needs to come from other places, and Russia would be one of the countries that could help.
Okay, Professor Izadi, Foad Izadi, Associate Professor at the University of Tehran, we appreciate your perspective today, sir. Thank you.